Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 20th of December 2018. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite deck, and this is my favorite deck. This is the deck I use in readings. It's based on the original Rider-Waite deck. They've just updated the colors. So if you're someone who's learning the tarot, start with this deck because all the other decks are based on this. So if you understand the messages in these cards, you'll be able to translate them and use them in other decks, and then you can use any deck you like. If you want to learn how to read tarot cards yourself, just take my course on the website. It's the Intuitive Tarot Expert course, and I go through it in video form, and I like to keep things simple. So it's a really cheap course, £17. And I've put it on there so cheaply because I think the tarot is something that can help everybody. And it can be a spiritual practice. If you struggle with meditation, then doing your own cards is an option. And for me, doing these daily tarot readings for you guys is a spiritual practice for me because I have to use my antennas and listen to my intuition to see what the message for the day is. So let's have a look. And I like the clarity of these cards as well. So first of all, we have the Lovers in reverse. The Lovers is a major arcana card, and it's a major theme. It's the theme of love. It's love, not on a temporary basis. In the minor arcana, we have the Two of Cups, and that's two people coming together and healing each other and strengthening each other and giving each other a sense of freedom through their love. But this is love as it's destined. This is your soulmate, your twin flame. And between the two of them, they create an angel. You can see these clouds here. So you don't know whether it's the angel kind of blessing this union or whether it's the two coming together that create an angel between them. And I really think it's the creation of something angelic. True love, real, fiery, true, amazing love is a miracle. And it has a ripple effect, and it creates a beautiful environment around those two people experiencing that. And they create angels. So it feels like you're invincible and everything is going right. Now that card is in reverse today. So there may be a tendency to look to the past, to look at what's been lost. Maybe you did have a love like this once, and maybe it's now left your life. And maybe you want to take today to mourn that lost love and to be maudlin and kind of, is it mawkish when you're overly sweet and overly wistful of the past, and you remember things in a way that they really weren't like. So, if someone's passed away and you've now turned that person into a saint, and you look back on that, and nothing will ever compare if you build the memory up to such a level that it's just perfect and beyond, and you lost the one thing that gave you the power to live. You can really lose yourself in that kind of regret and looking to the past. At the center of the reading, we have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is exactly that. It's preparing for something before you take action. Swords is the element of air. It's thinking, it's ideas. He's inside a church. He's laid out there, and his hands are together. So it's almost like a corpse being buried in a church, and the last rites being said, or this person praying his final prayer before he leaves this mortal coil. But what's also interesting is that we have these three swords pointing down at him and hanging over him, like the sword of Damocles. So it feels like there's pressure, and he's trying to find a consistent way of thinking, and he's trying to get out from the pressures, the external pressures of the world. So for instance, Dad says, we have been doctors for generations and generations and generations, and I am not going to accept you being a priest in the church because we're a doctor family. Or it could be the external pressure of friends, and if you don't drink and if you don't take drugs with us, then we don't want you in our group anymore. And it's the loss of his friendship group because he doesn't want to behave like that. He wants to be sober, he wants to connect spiritually, and he's going to lose all his friends. Or it could be the external pressure of, if you leave me now, I'm going to kill myself. You know, that kind of relationship where you're saying it's enough. And that person then threatens you and says, you can't leave me because I'll end my own life. In that situation, you always have to stick to your guns. You can't let yourself be blackmailed. And that's an awful situation to be in. But what he's trying to find is his own way of thinking and to get away from this pressure. And he's praying to some sort of higher power. Let's say he's alive and he's just resting here in this church. He's praying for answers. And the answer isn't up there in the sky in the stained glass window. It's in his spine. That's what I'm getting. It's like, and that's what I love about the tarot. I always get new things every time I look at these cards, and I've been looking at them for 20 years. So this sword, imagine yourself, you know what, the saying is like, oh, you're so spineless, you can't stand up for yourself. It's having your own belief system and really embodying that and absorbing it and saying, I don't do drugs and that's the bottom line. I am going to be a priest because that's what I feel my calling is. And if I leave you and you are going to decide to kill yourself, then I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about that anymore because I don't love you anymore and I need to live my own life. Sounds super harsh, but swords are ideas. It's the element of air, but swords are also weapons. They have sharp edges, they cut. You can make decisions and you can end things so you can begin something new. So draw a line under all of this. That's what this sword is as well. Draw a line under what's happened. If you've canonized someone in your own mind because they were the one true love, the man that got away. You know, in that film, A Star Is Born, the Judy Garland version, when she sings about the man that got away and now it's all doom and gloom and she's never going to be happy again. Draw a line under that. You're not a tragic figure. Your life isn't over. You get to decide which way you move forward, which way you go. And sometimes you have to be assertive and you have to stand up for yourself and you have to have boundaries and say, fine, I'm going to lose this group of friends, but now that I'm sober and I'm not going out clubbing every night, I may make friends that are more positive. And also, when you draw a line under the past and you say, all right, enough already, bye-bye, then you can look at what your options are in future. And today, you have a great option to explore lots of different things. You can either choose wealth or success. You want to prove them all wrong and be publicly celebrated. Or you may want to really have power and get into a position of seniority in your business. You may want wisdom and you want to learn about the spiritual realms and what all the meanings are about so that you can become a spiritual teacher. Maybe you just want security and privacy, and maybe you just want to hole up in your castle for a while. It's your choice. And today, 7, by the way, is mind and creativity in numerology. So today it's up to you to think about the future, to think about how you want it to look. This is also thinking. So say enough already with the past. 4 is security. Enough with the security that of the past, of the relationship, of the friendships, of the parental approval. Enough. I'm going to give myself my own security by embodying what I believe, and I'm going to give myself this spine of steel. I'm not going to be fragile and at the whim of other people. I'm going to slide out of there and I'm going to look to the future and decide for myself. So swords are thinking, and this is a fundamental miracle that can happen in your life any time. We can manifest relationships, we can manifest great jobs, we can manifest better health. It's the law of attraction. So if you read The Secret and you listen to people like Louise Hay, positive affirmations, looking in the mirror, being constructive, speaking things out loud, you know, like witches, spells, it's the whole thing is that simply our words have power. So if you keep saying, I can't stomach this, I can't stomach this, I can't stomach this, you're going to create something in your body that's going to reflect what you're saying. If you say, I am the world's #1 spiritual teacher, I'm the world's #1 spiritual teacher, I'm the world's #1 spiritual teacher. You see the energy building just by saying that? Every word you speak is magic. So you can manifest wonderful things, but also we do live in this state of grace. Sometimes the scales of justice are always biased in our favor, because at certain times, even if you're off gallivanting, making loads of money and throwing jewels around and gambling and stuff, you, without planning it, the universe delivers a miracle to you, and over the blackjack table, you look to your right, and there he is, the perfect man, the soulmate you've always been looking for, and your eyes meet, and there's an angel that appears between the two of you, and there's a spark, and it's the certainty, that's the man I'm going to marry. And those things are the best. Those things are, you haven't manifested, you haven't looked at that, and life is simply just handing you a gift on a silver platter. And that is the greatest. And that's, you can only have miracles happen in your life like this if you're really living your life. Like Marianne Williamson says this because she's a big advocate of the Course in Miracles, and she says, miracles happen every day. And if miracles aren't happening in your life every day, something's going wrong. But you can't live someone else's truth. You've got to live your own truth. You can't live someone else's version of you. Live your own version of yourself. Follow your dreams and feel the feelings and the fear and the pain and the success and the triumph and the power and the jealousy and the envy. Feel everything and be present in the moment, and that's when you allow miracles to happen. And then the angels can present this, or through the actual arrival of some person in your life, you create something that's bigger than yourself with that other person. So isn't that great? I think it's amazing. So we've got 4 and 6 is 10, and 7 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8, and 8 is power. And this is in the center of the reading today. So you have the power to put some steel in your spine and to say, Dad, enough already. I am not going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a priest. Enough. I've heard this for 15 years and it's enough. And your dad, believe it or not, will actually respect you for standing up for yourself, in my experience. So there we go. Have a glorious day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's new and improved and wonderful. I adore it. Order your reading on there. Just click on the book your readings button on the front page, or the services offered tab. Click on the readings drop down from there. You'll get to the readings page. You can order your reading with me. In my readings, I use tarot, numerology, and astrology. The astrology chart gives me, it's amazing. I sometimes feel amazed that I have all this access, all this information available to me. And it's just, that's a miracle in itself. And what I also find so amazing is that the rest of the world, or a lot of people, ridicule this amazing thing. Because I've talked to people for years now, and certain people have started, I've had feedback, certain people have started the career that they always wanted, and they say, I couldn't have done that if we hadn't looked at this and got some clarity. It's such a useful tool. So it shows me what your life purpose is, what your vocational talents are, so what you're good at, what's destined for you in health and personal development, money, abundance, prosperity, communication, the relationship with your siblings and your family, career, money, health, travel, your situation in institutions and whether you do better as an employee or being self-employed. If you have any questions, I can answer those, and I can also do horoscope compatibility to see if you're compatible with another person. There's all sorts of things with the astrology that's great. I can do a progress chart to see how you've changed over the years, transits to see what's going on in the sky at the moment. I can do a solar return chart for your birthday to see what the next year from your birthday to your next birthday holds for you. So there's a myriad of things I can look at. If you're interested in any of that, get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.